Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. It's 1 a.m. here in Tokyo, and tonight's theme is from cloud to crowd. It's kind of rhyming here. So that new way to store data. It's kind of a basic, uh, basic learning opportunities for you, especially if you're not really familiar with decentralized storage or DP or stuff like that. Probably most of you are very knowledgeable and pretty much informed, but just for those of you who are not really familiar with the idea, I wanted to um, give some clear picture about what we are doing, and even for those who are already familiar with decentralized storage, like the concept of Web 2 and Web 3, um, I want to just highlight the difference between us and what we have today in this world. And yeah, so thank you again for tuning in. Especially so since I'm actually flying out of Japan to Seoul, South Korea later. So this space will be a bit shorter than usual. But I wanted to make sure we stayed connected and kept the conversation moving forward, even on busy travel days. So yeah, tonight's space will be a little bit shorter than usual. Okay. But anyway, let's get started. So yeah, whether you're listening live or catching the replay, thanks for joining another open conversation about the future we're all helping to build openly, transparently, and together, right? And tonight, I want to walk you through a journey, what cloud means in Web 2 and why it matters, then where Web 3 is taking us and why storage is the new frontier, then the coming wave of asset tokenization. Asset tokenization is really in fun sphere within the Web3 realm, I think, if you're not really familiar with that. And how Xenea and proof of democracy open the door to real user participation, and how you can soon get more directly involved in supporting the network and earning rewards. Could be the most important part, yeah, earning rewards. So all with the focus on facts, not just hype. Okay. So let's set the stage. Yeah. So when we talk about the cloud, we're talking about more than just storage, of course. So today's Web2 cloud, led by the AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, is a massive suite of online services, computing, storage, networking, databases, and AI. When analysis forecasts like 766 billion US dollars in cloud revenue by 2025, they mean the entire digital backbone. Why? That's what it is. So when we call it a cloud, like it's not just a storage, yeah. That's the entire digital backbone of all these services. And zoom in on cloud storage itself is projected to reach about 145 billion US dollars in 2025, according to Fortune Business Insights. And that's still massive, yeah. 145 billion US dollars. It's massive, with 19% of organizations using some form of cloud. Mhm. And it's because the Web2 cloud is fast, reliable, and just works, right? It works. And it's the engine behind most digital businesses. So to be honest, there's no need for them to move from Web 2 to Web 3, right? I agree on that. But here's the trade-off. So control is centralized control. A few corporations ultimately own the infrastructure. Your data and apps are subject to their terms, pricing, and at times their legal or political requirements. So I don't mention any specific corporations here, but you know what I'm talking about, right? A few tech giants are controlling the infrastructures, and they have the power over us, you, about your data and apps and everything digital. So that's what I'm talking about here. But Web3 storage is turning that paradigm upside down. So right now, it's a very small part of the global storage market, about $600 million in 2024, and projected to reach the $4.5 billion by 2034, according to the Global Market Insights. So compared to Web2 cloud storage market, it's a very small market, right? Because I just mentioned that um, the cloud storage alone is projected to reach about 145 billion US dollars in 2025. But the Web3 like storage market is projected to reach like a 4.5 billion, just 4.5 billion by 2034, not even this year. So it's a smaller market compared to the conventional storage market, but it brings a fundamentally different approach. So data sovereignty, you control your data through encryption and private keys. There's no single gatekeeper. What else? Transparency and auditability. Anyone can verify what's stored, when, and where in chain. Community ownership too. Instead of a handful of cloud giants, the storage is provided by thousands of independent node operators. So that's what I meant from cloud to crowd, L and R, right? From cloud to crowd. What I mean by crowd is these people, like independent node operators, node runners, and also resilience and censorship resistance. So distributed across the globe, the Web3 storage, decentralized storage, can't be taken down by a single outage or legal order. This one is a huge difference, I think, especially where politics is not really stable, right? So protocols like IPFS, Filecoin, Arweave, and Xenea, we are at the forefront, connecting thousands of nodes across more than 150 countries, according to archive.org. So is it Web3 replaces Web2 overnight? No, not at all. So even though we're building this the brand new concept of storage and trying to market it, but it doesn't mean we are replacing Web2 overnight. Not at all, not at all. So we're entering a Web 2.5 era where hybrid models are practical and powerful. So enterprises and governments are starting to archive critical records in decentralized networks for compliance and transparency. Yeah. Developers are using decentralized storage for open research, NFTs, or as a fail-safe against data loss. And for most, it's about choice. Yeah, it's about choice, keeping what works while gaining new control and security through decentralized infrastructure. Now, let's talk about the next big wave, asset tokenization. So according to Boston Consulting Group, the market for tokenized assets could reach 16 trillion US dollars by 2030. So as for the storage, we were talking about billions, but now when it comes to tokenized assets, asset tokenizations, the market could reach 16 trillion US dollars by 2030. 16 trillion. If I'm correct, it's like the 10% of the global the whole global GDP, right? If I'm correct. That's how huge the market is. So we're not just talking about cryptocurrencies, but the real world assets, real estate, art, carbon credits, intellectual properties, even supply chain documents, all going digital and programmable. But here's the critical point. So tokenization needs storage that is auditable, resilient, and programmable. So if the proof behind the token is locked away in a centralized opaque cloud or was lost, then the token itself is meaningless. But decentralized storage like Xenea offers immutable audit trails, like every document or proof is anchored on chain, visible to all, but only accessible if you have the right key. All like programmable access, sharing, and compliance can be managed by smart contracts, DAOs, or token gates. And also durability too. Durability. The record outlives any single company or app. So without this, the asset tokenization is just decentralization with new branding, right? So with that, we get true digital property rights and public auditability. So what sets Xenea apart in this landscape? It's a unique governance model, consensus mechanism. I'm talking about consensus mechanism. I think I talk about this every day. POD, almost like that's all I got, but it's not really all I've got, but it's very unique, and I think it's really good for the community. So I keep telling you guys about this concept of new innovation, proof of democracy. So in Xenea, every wallet connected to the network can become a validator node. This means anyone can participate in network validation, and by doing so, earn block rewards for supporting the protocol and helping keep it secure and decentralized. So with POD, validation is not reserved for technical elite or like a handful of large stakeholders. With POD, instead, every user, every wallet has the chance to get directly involved. So you are not just a bystander. You can be an active participant, earning rewards for contributing to the infrastructure that powers the ecosystem. And for those looking to take a more active role, our upcoming node cell will soon give you the chance to get even more involved, not only by running nodes and earning rewards, but by shaping the direction of a global, community-powered storage network. So stay tuned for more details coming soon on how to participate, what the requirements are, and the opportunities that lie ahead. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. So this shift from cloud to crowd is more than just technology. It's a societal transformation, right? So we are building the next generation of digital public goods where research, art, culture, and finance are preserved and protected by the many, not the few, not the few elite, not the few tech giants, but by the many, including you guys. So we are creating resilience, openness, and real digital ownership for the next century, not just the next quarterly earnings call. All right. So as we wrap up, I want to invite you to share your perspective. So where do you see the biggest opportunities or gaps for community-owned storage? Have you ever faced issues or uncertainties with centralized cloud providers? Or what kind of data, records, or assets do you believe should be governed by the crowd instead of just the cloud? So drop your thoughts in the comments and DM me anytime. And thank you guys. I keep getting a series of DMs every day after the space. I think I'm not really keeping up with all these DMs, but I'm trying to catch up. So yeah, probably during the flight from here to Seoul, I will just open all those DMs and take a look. And after landing, I will probably send you a reply. But anyway, so like I said at the beginning of the space, so I'm flying to Seoul, South Korea, all the way from Japan. So too many. Project keeps getting postponed. This is the okay. Yeah. So um, yeah, you're right, Farhan. The project keeps getting postponed. Yeah, the project is postponed. Um, I think yeah, we're showing you the delay on the schedule, on the calendar. Yeah, we made some delay and we updated the roadmap. If you're familiar with that, we've updated the roadmap and released the updated one recently a while ago. So if you have not yet um, checked the roadmap, please go ahead um, to take a look of what we are trying to do this Q3 and Q4. And I really appreciate your understanding here. And what else? So since I have to fly out of Japan to Seoul, South Korea for some business, tonight the space is going to be a shorter than usual, but I think I've casually covered the story, like from cloud to crowd, um, like a market sizes or like a why the Web3 storage, like decentralized storage, matters, even even though the market the market size itself is very small compared to the conventional Web2 cloud storage, right? So in this space, I just said, like a Web2 cloud, the massive suite of online services, including computing, storage, stuff like that. The cloud market is like 766 billion US dollars in revenue this year, while the Web3 decentralized the storage market is about 623 million US dollars. So we were talking about billions for Web2, and for Web3, millions. So that's how like different these two markets are. But there's still a point to pursue the Web3 decentralized storage market because of the asset tokenization. That's one of the, probably that's not just the only reason, but one of the many reasons we should take a chance, to build this new generations of digital economy and digital data sovereignty. So even though the cloud storage market and the decentralized storage market sadly different in sizes, the decentralized storage market is way smaller than the cloud storage market, but still, the asset tokenization market is projected to reach 16 trillion US dollars by 2030. It's way bigger than the cloud storage market, right? But this market definitely needs decentralized storage. What we are building, what Xenea is building, this 16 trillion market, they need us. They need what we're building. All right. So so that's the recap for what I've shared tonight. And don't forget, we're going to kick off the node sale. The upcoming node sale will be a massive event. We've got partners and advisors on board before this very important event. And this is not going to be just the fundraising stuff. It's going to be getting friends and families to support building the future of a decentralized storage network, durable enough to support asset tokenization market, which is 16 trillion US dollars by 2030. Okay. So yeah, that's it for today. Gotta fly to Seoul. But yeah, as always, and if you're heading to GM Vietnam and want to connect, let me know. I will organize a casual coffee meetup probably. And once again, thanks for joining Chain of Thought from cloud to crowd. So let's keep walking for open infrastructure, the real transparency, and the world where data truly belongs to everyone. And if you're interested in whatever I was talking about today, I have some sources to share. I have those articles to share about these like asset tokenization market, like cloud storage market, cloud computing market forecast, and stuff like that. If you're interested, just let me know, or I will just drop the links below my post. Okay. So thank you. always, and I really appreciate your um, presence here. It really matters, and especially uh, for those who always tune in, like no matter when I do this, like some of you are always here, and I mean, I remember your names. I already have your names in my heart. So thank you very much. And we'll talk tomorrow, probably. Yeah. So yeah. So tomorrow I will be in Korea, and we'll be possibly stuck in some business meetings or whatever, even at night. I'm not really sure. Uh, I don't know what will happen. Um, and this is gonna be a really interesting business trip, which I cannot disclose the details of. But yeah, when the time comes, and if I can disclose any information about this specific business trip, I will talk about it during the space, only in the space. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in again, and that's it for today. And I hope you all have a good one. Thank you very much. Bye.